Want to find out what a great dupe is for the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation? Then just keep watching. Welcome to Beauty by Des. I'm Des, I'm over 60 and I love to talk about makeup, skincare, clothes and other bits and bobs that make me happy. I also have a website called Beauty by Des and I'm on Insta and Facebook too. So if you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up because it lets me know that I'm on the right track. And better yet, subscribe to the channel because then YouTube will put my video in front of other older women who might enjoy this kind of content. So just to let you know, in this video I'm not only going to talk about a dupe for the Beautiful Skin Foundation by Charlotte Tilbury, but also the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, but you'll have to stay until the end to find out what that is. So without further ado, I'm super excited for today's video because I have found what I think is the perfect dupe for the Beautiful Skin Foundation by Charlotte Tilbury. And it is the No. 7 Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced All-in-One Foundation. Now, I happened on this foundation completely by accident. I went into my local drugstore, well, it's my Boots actually, at a shopping mall. And I thought I'm just going to pick up a few drugstore foundations because I've been loving the L'Oreal True Match foundation, which I've repurchased at least once and possibly twice. And I absolutely love it. And I just thought I'd try some more. So I've tried the serum version of the L'Oreal True Match, which I kind of like, but I need to try it more. Anyway, this was one of the ones I picked up. Actually, I know why I picked up to No. 7 because I tried the other No. 7, forgotten the name of it now, but I'll link it down below for you, which I had enjoyed and finished, I think, a while ago. So I thought I'd try this, and it's actually got an SPF 50, which the Beautiful Skin Foundation doesn't have. But there are some similarities. So let me tell you a little bit about it. First of all, it's in a tube, just like the Charlotte Tilbury. So there's a similarity already. But I'll tell you a bit about the ingredients. So this one sells itself as having skin-loving ingredients, as does the Charlotte Tilbury. What they have in common is they both have glycerin, they both have butylene glycol, although they obviously come in a different pecking order in the ingredients list. They have glycerin and they of course have dimethicone, which all foundations seem to have in them. Now interestingly, the main difference with this one is because it's about half the price of the Charlotte Tilbury. I think it's about £17 in the UK, which is probably about $20, I'm guessing. This one has alcohol in it, so denatured alcohol, which means it could be a bit more drying, but it's quite far down the ingredients list. It's not at the top. And also, I happen to know that the L'Oreal True Match Serum Foundation has alcohol in it as well. So it may be that the alcohol, given that it's quite low down in the list, doesn't make it as drying as it could be if it was higher up the list. But I honestly think when I put it on my skin, I don't think it was long after I tried the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation that I tried this one, and I just noticed how similar it was, or it certainly seemed that way to me. Now, my mature skin is very mature. I'm over 60. I've got lines and wrinkles and moles and all of that kind of thing. And this foundation sells itself as having, let me tell you what it's got. It's got something called Matrixyl 3000 Plus, which says it's age-defying collagen peptide-based technology. It also says it has pro-retinol to smooth the appearance of lines and wrinkles, which is a funny thing to have in a foundation because you usually use retinol at night time as a treatment. But anyway, it's got SPF 50 plus, which is fine by me. I don't really care whether my foundation has SPF in it or not because I use a separate SPF anyway. It also apparently has vitamins E and C to help block free radicals, which is not bad, and an antioxidant complex with powerful skin protecting ginseng root extract and Morus alba mulberry, that is leaf extract, which is interesting because actually the Charlotte has a Rosa, I've forgotten the name of it now, actually let me tell you what it is called, yeah, Rosa Damascena flower water, which I thought might be irritating to my skin because I am allergic to anything with fragrance or parfum, as they call it in the ingredients. I'm allergic to all of those things. Not terribly badly. I mean, I come out in, I don't get a rash. I get sort of like dry flakiness around here. Anyway, I think this is a really good dupe, but let me show you why I think it's a good dupe and how great it looks on my skin. So let's start applying it. One of the things I really like about it is it's a tube application. So I find that, ooh, beg your pardon, I find that quite easy to apply. It's not runny. The Charlotte is slightly runnier, I would say, than this. This is not too runny. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot it. Let me just move my hair out of my face. I'm going to dot it on my skin. I think the colour's quite good. It might be a little bit dark. I think I'm right in saying, by the way, that they've changed some of the shades recently. So I think this foundation must have been around for quite some time. But I read on the Boots No. 7 website, a lot of people were moaning because the colours of the shades had changed. Luckily, I've come to it late. I can't remember now whether this was the shade, original shade, that the sales assistant suggested I have, but I think this may have been the only one that was closest to my skin colour. And I'm going to use my Beauty Pie foundation brush. I'm in love with this brush. I never used to use a foundation brush before. I used to own the IT Cosmetics foundation brush, but I didn't really get on with it. But this one, I think it's just because it's quite firm, but it's not hard, if you know what I mean. I think that makes sense. And by the way, if you want to find out a bit more about Beauty Pie, I have done a deep dive into the brand, and I'll link that up in the corner for you and down below in the description box. Now, I think you can see this colour looks pretty good, doesn't it? It's the right color, the right shade for me. Sorry, I don't know why I'm holding my hand up like this. I think it's the right shade for me, and it goes on nice and smoothly. It's got a bit of movement, a bit of stretch, even though it wasn't really liquidy on my hand, as you could see, but it goes on smoothly. It's a shame, you know, when I was doing the video about the luxury foundations, the Lisa Eldridge, it's just not that easy to apply. Once it's on, it's fine. But I do like a bit of give, as it were, a bit of stretch in my foundation, and I think this one has it. So one of the things that's really important to me is this smooth after I've applied my foundation? And I think you can see that it is, because sometimes I get flakes here. If the foundation isn't quite right for me, I end up quite flaky, and the MAC was definitely like that. The MAC was not good for that at all. But actually what's really good, and also around my nose, let me just see if I can show you around my nose, I think it's looking good, and I think the colour is good. So there we are. I think that is a really good dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. So while we're at it, let me carry on making myself up if you would like to see me use some more drugstore products, which I'm going to put on top. So I'm really in love with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Now it's quite pale, but I really like it. What I usually do is I pat it on, and then, actually I could use my concealer brush. I sometimes forget to use it. This is my Beauty Pie concealer brush. Let's give that a go, shall we, while we're at it. I hope you're all doing well. It was Valentine's, well, it wasn't Valentine's night last night. It was the 12th of February, in fact. It's the 13th today. But we decided to celebrate, as it were, our love for each other, me and my husband, after nearly 20 years. And I cooked us a really nice dinner. It's what is sometimes called surf and turf, although we didn't have it together. I decided to do a retro dinner. So what we did was, or what I did, and I don't do a lot of the cooking. My husband is a brilliant cook. But anyway, I decided to take the reins yesterday, and I made us a prawn cocktail. Oh, it was so good. I mean, basically, I just fried up the prawns. I can get these fantastically huge prawns from the fishmonger down the road. He only tends to have them at weekends. But anyway, got those. Then I suddenly thought, actually, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with them for prawn cocktails. It's not something I really make. I probably used to buy ready cooked prawns. Anyway, I fried them, which was fine, in some oil, and they are amazingly tasty. And then I made the Mary Rose sauce, so the ketchup and the mayo mixed together on a bed of shredded lettuce. Oh, it was just the business. And then we had some ribeye steak, some great big chunky chips, and then I bought some gorgeous, I was going to make a chocolate, but you know, who's got time for that really? To be honest, I'm just not very good at making desserts. I always think, oh yes, let's do this, and then when I try to do it, it's always a bit rubbish. So I bought some beautiful little chocolatey things, and then we put the telly on just to see what was on, and actually it was fantastic because there was a Carole King concert, and then a James Taylor concert. Can you tell how old I am? Anyway, it was a really nice evening, and so he bought me this little necklace, which is very nice. So yeah, it was all good. Right, so I've got the concealer on. I'm just going to powder around my eyes just to set the concealer. Nice thick brush. I think this is a Space NK brush, but I just find it's funny, my eyelids used to be greasy. I don't know if they're quite as greasy now. I suppose everything gets a bit dry, but my skin, by the way, my mature over 60 skin is normal. It's not particularly dry. It certainly isn't greasy. It used to be combination back in the day, but I think that ship has sailed now. So the next thing to do is the brows. Now I'm not going to use my Revolution pencil, which is what I usually use. I'm just going to go with the Plumps and I'm just going to go with the L'Oreal Plump Set and Brow Artist. Now, one of the things I've started to do lately is, instead of raising my eyebrows and then putting on my brow gel, I'm actually trying to do it with my brows in my brow resting face, if there is such a thing. So rather than lift them up, I don't know whether it makes a difference, but I had a feeling that it did. And I think this is a very good drugstore product. I mean, look, you can see it looks fairly natural, I would say, because we're not going for a heavy look today. In fact, I noticed in my last video, the one that I've just done about foundations, the luxury foundations, that my blusher still looks a bit strong. I don't know. If you watch that video, and as I say, I've linked it up earlier on or down below in the description box, let me know if you think my blusher looks a bit too strong. It's so difficult to tell on camera. Everything looks so different. Right, let me just check that this is not giving me Dennis Healy eyebrows. And Dennis Healy, for those of you who wouldn't know, and why would you, he was a politician, a British politician in the 70s, and he had the most unruly brows you've ever seen. They just went every which way. I mean, I think that's quite good. The only thing is I do have a little gap just there, which is better than it was. And it is better than it was because I use the lash growth serum on my eyebrows just to, well, I think it's what's made it slightly better. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Right, so I'm going to do eyes now. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Rose Gold palette, which is very good. I'm a bit disappointed with the very small palettes that I bought, because I was just about to use this one, and I can see I'm not going to open the box, but all the colour has just fallen out of the pan, which is not very good, is it? But this one is lovely. I really like it, and actually I've done a video where I use this, and I will link that up in the corner for you as well in case you want to watch that. Right, let's blow that out. Let's get, so usually what I use, and I think because we're not going very makeup-y today, it's Sunday. I was very makeup-y yesterday when I did the video, which hopefully will have come out by the time you see this, which is about how to find the perfect pair of jeans. I had a lot of makeup on, so I think what we'll do is we'll go quite light really, and we'll use, let's see, let's use this colour here. Let me show you this one here. I can't remember what it's called, but all will be linked below. And let's just tap that on all over, because I think what we'll do is we'll just do a one and done kind of eye, and then we will do some eyeliner, and I think that'll do for today. Oh, sorry, I've got an itchy nose. Yeah, so we're just placing the colour on. I am doing windscreen wipers, but I think it's fine. I know some people say, I suppose it depends what look you're going for. If you're trying to place the colour in a particular area, then you wouldn't want to do windscreen wiper, but just because we're being quite light and doing a light touch makeup today on my over 50 wrinkly old skin. Right, so now I'm going to line with the liner by L'Oreal, which is a great pencil. In fact, I've almost run out of the black one. This is the brown one, but although I wouldn't normally wear brown, I'd probably put black on. I'm going to use the brown just because. I'm just going to tight line. Oh, I always do struggle. I did do a video on tight lining, which I'll link up there for you, but I'm trying to do a different technique at the moment. I'm trying to follow Tamara's Timeless Beauty, where she literally just kind of, I mean, I'm always worried about poking myself in the eye doing it this way, but actually it's kind of like you're kind of resting the rim of your eye on the pencil. Right, let's see if that's worked. Ooh. Yeah, see, it has worked actually. That's all you do. So instead of having to lift and then do the application, and then of course the other thing I need to do is put it on the top. So let's just do that very roughly, because I'm going to go over it with a darker colour from the palette. So, oops, there we go. Yeah, that'll do, because it's Sunday and we're not overdoing it today. So then let's go in back with the palette. So I think we're going to choose this very deep purpley colour here. I know it's a little bit sparkly, but hopefully you won't notice that too much. I don't think we'll notice the sparkle because it's so, there's just so little of it. It's really just to reinforce the line that I already did. If you can see that it's just deepening it a little bit. Let's tap that off. Actually, one thing I am going to do, I think, after I've done this is just check the foundation with a dampened beauty sponge, because I think I should have done that before. There we are. So we're just deepening the colour around, on the top of the movable lid. So for mascara, we're going to use the Maybelline Colossal mascara, which I must admit I haven't gone big on at the moment, but sometimes, I'm just going to look in my mirror here, sometimes the mascara kind of over time gets better, even though I know it's only got a short shelf life of about, well, supposedly about 3 months. So let's go blush. I'm going to use the e.l.f., which is the shimmer primer infused, yeah, the primer infused blusher, and it's got a slight sheen to it. And let me get another of my favourite. Actually, this brush isn't Beauty Pie, is it? Who's this by? Oh yeah, this is an e.l.f. brush actually. This is really nice. All the details, by the way, will be down below for you. Right, let's try not to put too much on. Let me know in the comments below if you think I've gone a bit too big on the blusher. Well, hopefully that's not too over the top, but we will be blending in a minute. Oh, that's the church bells. It's Sunday, you can tell. Now we're going to put a little bit of bronzer. I'm going to go with the Milani. Do you know, I bought the e.l.f. bronzer, this one, but actually it's a bit orangey for me, but I really love the Milani, which is the Silky Matte bronzer in Sunkissed. I absolutely love this, and I'm going to use, I think this is a Beauty Pie. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. I'm going to use this one, which I think is a Morphe, isn't it? Yeah, it's a Morphe brush. Really like this brush. It's a great colour for me, I think. There we are. Now I'm going to blend that out with my very expensive, but I got it free when I booked a Charlotte Tilbury kind of masterclassy thing. It was £45 the class, but you could choose something to the value of it, which was good. So I chose this brush, and actually when I first got it I wasn't sure I was going to use it, but actually it's been great for blending. I wonder if I need any powder on the top of this foundation. I don't think I do, but let me just double check in my 10 by 10 to make sure everything's looking okay and not smeary. See, it's so great. There's no flaking in the middle of my 11s. It's fantastic. Now, I promised you that I was going to show you another Charlotte Tilbury dupe at the end of this video, and this is it. I am absolutely delighted with this. It's Max Factor Miracle Glow. I've suddenly become a highlighter convert, and I've decided that highlighter is a good thing after all. I wasn't sure about it, even though I had the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter for years. I mean, I must have had it for about 3 or 4 years, and I've still got loads left in it. Now, this is a different type of application. It's got a little pump like that, and honestly, that's probably more than enough that you will need. But anyway, I'm going to apply it, and it's actually it's a slightly paler, maybe less pinky. It is a bit pinky, but it's more champagne-y, I'd say. So I'm just going to pop it here. That's probably enough. You see, I mean, look, I've still got loads left on my hand. In fact, let me wipe that off. Right, and then I'm just going to pat it up here like this. That is amazingly shiny, isn't it? Whoa. I don't know how this is coming out on camera. But anyway, may have gone slightly over the top. But I mean, look at that. It is beautiful, isn't it? Don't you think? I mean, that's a Charlotte Tilbury right there, I'd say. Now, I've forgotten how much this is, but I'll put it down below for you. It certainly will be, must be at least half the price of the Charlotte, and really, really love it, and very easy to apply. In fact, in a way, because it doesn't have the kind of doe foot that the Charlotte Tilbury has, this is almost easier to apply. Okay, so the final thing we're going to do now is some lipstick. So for lipstick, I'm going to use the Lottie London Slay All, which is a brand new to me. It's a drugstore product. I really like it. I have it on. I know a lot of people don't like the liquid lipsticks because they say they're very drying on the lips, and they probably are, but I like that. I'm okay with that because they do stay put. They really do stay put, and they do lovely colours. Very pleased with this. So there we are. That's it. That's my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation dupe. The number 7, Protect and Perfect. This one here. Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced Foundation, all in one. I absolutely love it. Now, what do you think? Let me come closer. Have a good inspection. Down here. Up here. I am really delighted with that foundation. I think it's fantastic. It's about half the price of the Charlotte Tilbury. And I think it looks really great. So if you're after a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury, and of course if you're after a dupe for her Flawless Filter as well, which I think is wonderful, this Miracle Glow by Max Factor. Job done. If you found this video helpful, informative, or even amusing, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving me a thumbs up and hitting the bell icon. I'm so grateful you're here, and I'll look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.